Welcome everyone to Oakland, and here's one of the obligatory oaks, as few as some pretty large ones. And unfortunately, I have a feeling a lot of these oaks are going to be disappearing because this is going to become my industrial area. Despite the fact that I've got plenty of cattle, I think I've even seen a sheep or two around here since the taiga is across the river, so therefore I don't have wolves all over the place like I do over there. And now down here, I've got some tunnels. I don't think I have anything that leads into an extensive cave type tunnel system that we've got down near the lighthouse, but I've got plenty of those already, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now, what this does have plenty of are opportunities to get lost, that I must say. So I am going to have to section this out so as to reduce the chance of getting lost. And I'll be dividing this into chunks, and each chunk is going to be one zone where I'm hoping to have one industrial building. So it's not going to be any huge ones, and if I have any huge ones, obviously it'll require more than one chunk to build it in. But the idea is to have a chunk that's going to define the building area. And when we take the chunk, we're going to have the outer part's going to be the walkway. Then we're going to have the wall. So therefore, internal actual working areas are going to be 12 by 12 in each of them. Now, most likely there are some things that are going to vary, but that's the proposal so far. So I'll probably be taking the cattle into one of these chunks here and using that to produce leather so I can get books and stuff like that for my villager trading. So therefore, let's now go and get our chunks. So I'll hit F3G. And this is going to be telling us where all our chunks are. Now this chunk you can see is right on the river. And in fact, it's mostly cut off. So therefore, from the point of view of industry, this is probably a poor chunk. So this is actually probably a good one for me to place my resting area. So I could probably use this as my dock. And that way, I don't waste a good full-size chunk for that purpose. So therefore, I will use this as my chunk boundary indicator. Obviously, we don't need to worry about all the way going down to the end, but we can put one right there. Now, I am going to replace these with other more suitable borders at a later time. So I'm actually going to be doing this all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that chest over to here, and the boat is easy enough to do, but the chest is going to be a bunch of stuff is just going to spew out, and I'm going to have to get that afterwards. I could get my boat there, because obviously this is going to be where my dock is going to be. Put this here, and now I will try to find out how many chunks I have for my building, and then start to decide what I'm going to do with it. So when I have the chunks laid out, I'll be back. I am back. I have marked off a few of these chunks. I'm still not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but I've got this wool here and the 4x4 saying that there's a chunk at each corner on here. Now I haven't finished the task because while I was going through it, I noticed this cow here decided to go inside of my boat, which gives me a little bit of an idea, because between episodes, a cow had decided to wander into my lighthouse area. I don't know how that happened, It could have been a natural spawning. I don't know the spawn rate of passive mobs in an active world, because I know they spawn like crazy when you first load the chunk, but at other points I don't know how common, if it's possible, or if the cow just walked over from somewhere else, which is another possibility. But if I had one there already, and one decided to volunteer to get into the boat, so I didn't have to go through all the trouble trying to figure out how to convince them to go into there, well, let's just finish the task. Oh, I can go under that bridge. Oh, that's good. So therefore, that's what I will do here. So I am just going to go and get some grain and handle this. Let's get this here, this here. And I can at least have some cattle in this area. Actually, might as well throw that into there. Nice to have got these labels now. So let's head on to it. At least I don't have to worry about wolves attacking cattle, since as far as I know, wolves only attack skeletons, rabbits, and sheep. Alright, but I want to do this without killing the sacred cow, so to speak. Now, let's see. Hey, hey, this way, this way, this way. This way. This way. Yeah, that's right. That's a good cow. Let's see. Oh. This way. Up here. Up here, up here. Yeah, that's right. Good and good. Thank you. Alright, I could start breeding cattle then. I sometimes forget that I don't have to worry about gates because I've got the jumping boost on. Alright, now that that's done, I can head back over and... Oh yes, of course, I am carrying the boat, aren't I? So I can just head back over and continuing sectioning off my territory. I am back. I decided in the end to use different colors of wool to mark the section so I could tell which corner each one is with, so they will go with their appropriate colors. I'm using cyan for my little building area at the moment. And I'm going to have to move this chest in a moment, but that's going to be real messy, so I'll do that off camera between scenes. The idea here is that this is where I'm going to have my building area. I'm going to have an auto smelter here so that I can get things processed quickly. And most likely, I'm going to use charcoal for working in my furnace rather than coal, because I'm short on coal due to villager trading. But charcoal should be plentiful considering all this wood in the area. And if wood becomes tricky, then I could always get a tree farm going or something like that. Now, here then is one of the areas, and the idea here is I've taken out 10 regions. Now, very few of them, I don't think any of them is a perfectly flat 16 by 16 area. I'm going to have to either work with what I've got or do some terraforming. That all depends on what my mood is and exactly what I decide to do for each of them. Now, choosing 10 areas, I thought that would be enough because this is my real first time building an industrial area, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to be doing more than 10 projects of an industrial type for this. So therefore, I think that would be a good number. So 10 little ones, including the starter area there. And we go down here, and I think this is the last of them. And this goes down here a little bit like this, so I could turn this into a mine, since this is begging to be turned into a mine. I figure I could start digging down there, turn that into a mine, and have mine carts coming up here in order to draw up ore and the like. So that sounds something that one can do in an industrial area. So this will be a new type of build for me. Now, I don't think I'm going to work on this all in one big go. It's probably going to be done over a series of sessions. But the first thing I want to do is to build a little dock and quay here so that I can be able to land my boat. And, oops, not there. Let's see. So I figure I have a layer of oak here. Like this. And going just, well, that time I went all the way out like this, so I guess I might as well just go all the way out since this is all part of the chunk. Right, so that's the, hang on. Is that what I think it is? It is what I think it is. Ooh, clay. I don't run into clay all that often, so I think I'll do some digging and get some clay. There we go. And yeah, this is why I saw that. Told me, ooh, something's under here. And let's get some dirt in order to fill that in, so I don't have my area undermined. Good. Now, good. There, it's just. All right. There we go. Ah, the wonders of respiration enchants. Because I all forgot and didn't realize that I was underwater all that time, and nope, didn't take any damage. Because without that enchantment, I would be constantly going taking damage from needing to breathe. Alright, good. There, that's the idea there, and I can have a little let's see, dock for my boat. I can put, I suppose I could put that right here. Good, and this is where I could put my boat then. I'm not going too far into the water. Nah, I still got plenty of room. Since this section is closer to being a lake than a river in any case. Alright, there we go. Now I got a nice place to place my boat whenever I come here. And that way I didn't have to chew up the precious little space I have here for building the dock. Now, what I need next is going to be my auto smelter. Now, I've done these a ton of times, so shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I will need our materials. And where are they? I guess the best thing to use, ooh, brick. How appropriate. I'm going to have to, of course, cook the brick. I need to cook the brick in order to make my smeltery. Well, how's that for a catch-22? Well, let me go back home, do some brick cooking, and I will be back and be able to make my smelter, or I might even do that off camera since... Oh, wrong way. Remember, spruce on the right, non-spruce on the left. That's the way the rule operates. And also, it gets narrow up here because it turns into a real river, and as opposed to being the lake that's at the head of the river. So therefore, let me go and get some brick. While baking my bricks, I decided to come out and feed the pigs, and I don't see any pigs. What happened to my pigs? They introduce a new mob to the game, the Great Pig Eater or something, because that's what it looks like. I don't know of any mobs that grab pigs. I know of no reason why they should despawn, but I don't know everything there is about the game, so perhaps something did happen to them. Either that or a fun little server glitch. But I have my bricks now, so it is time for me to head back over to the new location where we are going to build our industrial site, and I'm going to do something with these bricks. Now that I have my bricks, I need to figure out exactly where to put my little furnace, and I think this would be a good spot right here. I cleared out some grass, and I figure we'll just put this into here. I fit these things into a 3x3 area, which is going to include all sorts of fun stuff, including 5 hoppers and 3 chests, so that means I'll need 8 chests in all in order to do this. So hopefully I brought enough wood with me. Oh yeah, here's a whole thing of 16. There we go. 60, 64. I know that, yeah, there's a 64 block here. There we go. Do I have enough iron? Because iron is always the thing that you run out in these projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 hoppers. Right there. No, I don't want to hit that again because I want to have these 3 chests put there. And of course, we have 3 chests. One is for the output, which we could put right here, and we could put a hopper right there for that. Let's plop this in. Hopefully we won't be needing a bow while we're doing this. And hopefully I can place a hopper properly today. But seeing what happened when I was doing chicken coop. Yeah, alright, good. That's placed properly. Good. And we also need a furnace, which I don't think I've got my... No, I have cobble. Alright. I do have cobble, whatever. Good, and we won't need to eat it during this time. Okay. Good. 1 furnace, and we will have that feed into there. Have that feed into there, and just plop a couple of chests on top of that, and we should be set, at least as soon as I'm able to stand up. Well, actually, first let me sleep. Now, we can place our chests, a little dirt. Up there, and that is now technically functional. If I've done it right, of course. Now, I think I said before that I'll be using charcoal as my main fuel, but of course, I need to kickstart that a little bit. Because I have absolutely no fuel on me. Haha. Well then, I've got plenty of fuel in this area, but let's at least make sure that this works properly. So let's just... Well, if we don't have any of that, okay, this will be our item to cook. This will be, we'll just use one of these. This could be our fuel. It's cooking. And at some point that should pop up. Yeah, there we go, one's done. Alright, so everything works. Of course, I'm going to have to properly put the bricks around it to decorate it, to give it a nice feel. And of course, chop down a few trees for wood. But that is it for charcoal. But that is it for today. We're back next time. Hopefully I'll be able to choose one of these various areas in which to start a build. But first I need to come up with a good idea for my first industrial build. But that'll be in our next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Welstopia.